Language. Language plays an imperative role within anthropology. As a form of communication and written record of our existence, language is essential to understanding the sociolinguistic implications embedded within modern and past societies. The biological study of language focuses on the physical body's relationship to language, while the archaeological study focuses on the origination of language and its relation to past societies. On the other hand, the social study of language uses it as a tool to understand modern-day societies. Research methods. Social anthropology has a few research methods. Three that are commonly used are ethnography, archival, and longitudinal methods. Ethnography observes various communication styles and helps defining how the daily use of language influences social relations and identity, additionally looking at the ideologies or constraints a language imposes. Archival methods look at the social context of language and how the development has influenced modern-day societies by analyzing physical and audible materials such as CDs, documents, and other forms of media. Longitudinal studies analyze language development patterns of a specific group through an elongated case study, focusing on the social development and impacts of language. All of these methods are used to dive deeper into points of interest. These points of interest include sociolinguistics, structure, ideology, use, revitalization, and evolution. Because language is culturally rich, it allows people within a society to connect from all forms of life. It shows the development of social relations, actions, beliefs, and perspectives. Analyzing the evolution of language can involve each point of interest from how the social aspects have changed, how the ideology has shifted, with the structure or social use of it, and if its evolution includes a decline, and if revitalization efforts have impacted its success. This can also take a look at the changes in development of grammar and the mechanics of using a language over time. Case study. In the early 1700s, Catalonia first came under the control of a Spanish dictator who banned the native language and the public use of it. Today, speaking Catalan is still a very divisive thing, and as recent as 2017, Catalan lawmakers voted to declare independence from Spain but failed. And in March of this year, Spanish lawmakers approved to pardon nearly 400 Catalan lawmakers and others involved in the organization of an independence referendum. This has caused a lot of controversy and dispute among older generations, so the case study I've chosen follows a 5-year longitudinal analysis of adolescent use of Catalan, which was published in 2017. This case study focuses on the factors that define societal attitudes towards the language and what it represents. The theoretical undertones of the study reveal that the ethnic identification, cultural behavior, and language proficiency vary in different intensities, shaping the viewpoint of the child. The study found that children between 11 to 16 years of age were influenced by social factors but had empathy towards Catalan speakers. Their attitudes altered depending on their identity, family level of education, but were heavily reliant on their ethno-national identification. It's important to remember that the UN is a global organization that identifies English and French as their primary language. When working on a global level, it's imperative to lean into the benefits of bilingualism as an avenue for direct translation. Speaking the native language provides a complete understanding of a culture that allows an organization to avoid political and cultural controversies. In terms of social anthropologies, language connects human thought and understanding to reality, meaning it's imperative to understanding societies and for them to understand the intentions of the organization. When it comes to the goal of no hunger, language plays a vital role in communicating through each stage of growing, preparing, and distributing food. There are several world organizations that provide volunteers, resources, and funding to tackle this goal. Bilingualism opens the door for international funding and marketing that the communities cannot provide for themselves. For example, IVHQ is an English-speaking volunteering network that connects volunteers to regional organizations such as Impact Trip. Impact Trips coordinators act as translators between the community foundations and volunteers. Personally, I went through this process and I do not speak Spanish. However, I had academic experience with anthropology before coming to Winchester, meaning that I learned how to properly interact with the cultures and people around me in a fruitful manner. Additionally, I have a background in culinary arts that emphasized the use of nonverbal language, which meant understanding the language and dynamics within a kitchen and using eye contact, hand gestures, and body language to further understand the employees I was working with. Had I not had an understanding of cultures and nonverbal communication or had my background in culinary arts, I would have halted production more than I helped it. To conclude, Social anthropology of language analyzes languages and searches to define its influences within modern societies, identities, and relationships. Social anthropologists have varying methods used to study language and define their social implication, influences, controversies to get a better understanding of modern societies. When an international organization, such as the UN, promotes sustainable development goals, it's imperative to have an understanding of language within international aid to avoid misunderstandings and to maintain cultural respect towards the communities that they're helping. Thank you.